Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing fine and studying well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your presentation for your law papers. So one thing which I feel is that in any theory paper, everyone who's gonna appear in the exam is gonna study the same thing. What will differentiate you from the other students who are gonna appear for the exam is your presentation skills, the way you're gonna present your answers in the exam. So this thing can be a game changer for you, and I think this is one point which differentiates a ranker from a non-ranker. So in this video, I'm gonna cover everything from start to end, the things which I kept in my mind while attempting any law paper, be it my CA law papers or my CS law papers. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so before that, one more thing. So for you all, I've got my CA final certified law paper copy. I've left it in the description box below, so you can just once go to that, check it out how I presented my law paper. So in my law, I secured 74 marks out of 100, out of which I secured 46 marks in my theory portion, which was out of 70, and 28 marks in my MCQ portion, which was out of 30. Okay, so starting with the presentation tips for any law paper, the number one tip would be that you should always write all your answers in bullet points. Never write your answers in long paragraphs because it will be really cumbersome for the examiner to correct your answer sheets that way. So always make your answers very presentable, and this can only happen when you present them in bullet points. Tip number two, your answer should always be in four parts, starting from the provisions, the facts of the case, analysis of the case, and the conclusion. So if you'll see in my answer sheet, I have presented every answer in these four different paragraphs. So first one would be the relevant provisions, second one would be the facts of the case, third the analysis, and then the conclusion. So the next very important tip is that always underline or highlight the important points in your answers. It's very important because it reduces the examiner's work and hence automatically increases your marks. So whenever you are highlighting or underlining something, you are particularly catching examiner's attention to those particular points, and then the examiner don't have to go through the entire thing you have written and find out the relevant content out of the whole thing you've written. So it basically reduces the examiner's efforts, and he's definitely gonna give you some extra marks for reducing his efforts. So always take care of this one thing. So like if you go through my certified copies too, I have highlighted each and every important point in like every answer. And also, so I have heard like what some people do is they keep it for the end. Okay, so once like I'll finish my paper and then if I get time I'll highlight the important points. No, this is a big no. You keep highlighting those important points while you're writing your exam, so it would be very easy. So for example, there's some provision and you feel that this is the key word in this provision, highlight it, like underline it then and there itself using the same pen you are writing the entire answers with. Okay, so this would be also easy for you, also would save time and would make sure that you are highlighting every answer, you're highlighting important points for every answer you are attempting. So the next thing is something which I get a lot of queries about, that whether we shall remember all the section numbers or not. So again, I've been telling this in my previous videos too. Writing section numbers is obviously more beneficial. Examiner will have a different impression of you in his or her mind whenever he's checking the papers, when you have written the section numbers for all the answers. But again, like we as human beings have some capacity to remember and retain things. So I'd suggest your first priority should be to learn all the provisions very, very nicely. And if you get time, after time or the capacity, you have the capacity to learn more things, to ratify more things after getting done with your provisions, then you can go forward with learning your sections. So probably, and like there are few sections which you will get to know through the past trends, that that are extremely important, which you should obviously know. But for the other sections, first you should know the provisions, and if you feel that you know the provisions extremely well, only then go for learning these sections. Okay, so this would be my advice to you, that first focus on provisions, and then if you feel that you can learn the sections too, go for learning these sections, because first priority is provisions, and it's not possible for each one of us to learn all the sections, although it makes our answers more presentable, and it makes our paper more, basically it makes our paper more like different from the others, different from the people who would have not mentioned the section numbers. And so whenever like you have not written a section number, whenever you like don't remember a section number, just write that as per the relevant provisions of this particular chapter, of this particular act, this is the whatever the provision is. Also, one more thing, never quote any section number until you are 110% sure, because the examiner won't deduct your marks for not writing the section number, but he will definitely deduct your marks in case you quote a wrong section number. So never write a section number until and unless you're 110% sure about it. So one more point. So whenever like we are writing the conclusion, so conclusion would be, probably there would be a statement in the question, and you have to tell whether you agree or disagree or your decision. So conclusion is the most important part, and it should be, most appropriately framed. So frame your conclusion very nicely, and never forget to highlight your conclusion basically. So if it's like, I do not agree with that particular statement, so highlight that do not agree really nicely, that the examiner has his eyes on your conclusion, because that's the most important thing, and that's gonna fetch you marks. Now, last but not the least, make it a point that writing more would not get you more marks. Okay, your agenda in the examination should be, make your paper as concise as possible and as accurate as possible. So basically your paper should be very concise, along with complete accuracy and completeness. That is what our examiners would be looking for, not 4 or 5 sheets attached and you're gonna. So this is basically, we all know, this is not our graduation exams. So we gotta keep our answers as concise as possible. So what I used to do was, for answers, for questions with 3 to 5 marks, I would not write for more than 1 or 1.5 page. So basically your answer should be concise, accurate and complete. That should be your agenda. So guys, that's all for this video. I hope this video will help you improve your presentation of your law papers. Do refer to my CA Final Law Certified copy to see how you can improve your presentation skills, and just get an idea how I presented my paper, which got me 74 out of 100 marks in my CA Final Law. So thank you so much and take care. And if you have any further questions, do drop them in the comment box below. I'm gonna reply to them. Yeah, thank you.